guys, so we're here in Paris with the amazing Gary Lucas, who plays with Gods and Monsters and used to play with Captain Beefheart and Jeff Buckley, among others. Right. And it's a real honor to have you here.
I'm honored to be your tour, man. Thank you for having me.
This is a little bit of like a TonePrint session, so we have the Hall of Fame hooked up, and I know at least from the Jeff Buckley stuff that you guys used a lot of reverb on guitar.
Oh yeah,
which was actually not that common back in those kind of grungy days.
I know, but the fact is, my roots were in the psychedelic late '60s.
Yeah,
and they used a lot of heavily processed sounds on some of the records that I liked.
Yeah,
and amazing kind of reverb sounds. So from the earliest days, when I started to play even solo before Gods and Monsters. Yeah. I was experimenting with trying to get different reverb effects.
Yeah. You have the Hall of Fame on your pedal board now.
Yeah.
What type of reverb sound are you typically looking for?
Well, I like the big Cathedral sound. It sounds very spacey and spiritual at the same time.
Yeah. Well, cool. Let's see if we can dial something in.
Yeah. Okay.
The biggest reverb type that we have on here right now is the church one, which is the biggest. But actually, I just heard you mention that you like the Cathedral stuff.
Yes.
And it just so happens that we have, on top of the different types that you can pick here, there's a couple of extra ones that you can't really get to.
Okay.
Except you have when you have the editor, and one of them is actually a Cathedral sound. Maybe start with that thing.
Sure.
And tweak it so that you like it, hopefully. We can change the way that the EQ of the reverb tail sounds, so we can make it brighter or darker depending on what you want.
Maybe brighter, a little brighter.
So what I'll do now is I'll just kick it up so it's as bright as it'll possibly get, and then you can go like, holy shit, please back it down again.
Okay. I like it.
You like it when it's...
I like it bright. I like it bright.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, let's keep it here.
Okay.
We can do the same thing for the low end. Now I kind of split the difference. But I agree with you. If we get too much low end, it tends to get a little boomy, and it takes away from the dry guitar sound.
Yeah.
We spent some time dialing something in.
Yeah.
And been around a couple of different, tried a few things out, and actually ended up with something that's pretty close to what you actually used on the pedal before you did your own TonePrint.
Right.
Which is a modulated, chorusy kind of a plate reverb that has a lot of shimmer to it. We need to give it a name.
Oh.
You gotta when you go to the Gary Lucas page on our website and you want to download this TonePrint.
How about Lucasonic?
We'll call it Lucasonic. I like that. So I guess that's a TonePrint. Can you explain maybe what you were looking for in terms of
I wanted some kind of like a shimmering sound that would sound like a marvelous event in space.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the music I was writing with Jeff, we were trying to go for a very mystical, spiritual sound.
Yeah.
It has a bit of an aura. I was trying to go for the Godhead. I've said this in interviews, right?
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to do in the writing and the performing of our music, was to kind of pierce through the veil and hit the Godhead, which was, just to feel a connection with the divine. You could be an agnostic or an atheist and still enjoy the sound. I mean, you didn't have to be a believer, let's say. This particular TonePrint gives me that feeling. I mean, I can only tell you just through my own sensibility, but it's like it makes my spine tingle.
Yeah.
So to hear this in this pedal on the guitar is amazing.
What we talked about, without the cameras rolling, was that if you had to do like a Jeff Buckley tribute gig, which you do from time to time, and you were going to play some of those songs, you pretty much pick that.
This is
type
the
of
setting
song
I would use, definitely. It just sounds great.